Good morning. Through this interactive video section, we are going to discuss Unit 4 of your book. The part of Unit 4 is Geometry. This is the page number 154. The name of the chapter is Basic Geometrical Ideas. In this video, we are going to discuss some basic concepts of geometry. First, the term see geometry. It is a Greek term and it has been derived from the word geometron, and the meaning of the geometron is to measure the earth. What are the concepts that we are going to discuss, such as plane, point, line segment, ray, angle. There are two types of concept of angles here. Number one is interior of angle, exterior of angle, and the adjacent angles. The first concept regarding the geometry is plane. We know that every solid substance has a surface, and some surfaces are plane whereas some surfaces are curved. Basically, plane is a surface. Some surfaces are smooth, whereas some surfaces are coarse. Whenever we are talking regarding the plane, that means plane is a smooth, flat surface of any solid substance that extends endlessly in all directions. This is the definition of plane. And what are the characteristics of plane? Such as it will have no boundary or boundaries. It will have only length and breadth, but will have no thickness. As a dimension, only the length and the breadth of a plane should be considered, but thickness is not. And a plane extends endlessly, will have no boundaries, and the dimension of a plane cannot be measured. The dimension of a plane cannot be measured. Dimension means length, breadth, height, etc. That means we cannot measure the dimension of the plane. What are the examples? Such as table. You can see here, this is the plane. Surface of your book, surface of the board, etc. And the plane extends infinitely in all directions. Plane is the smooth surface of any solid substance, mind it. But the surface of ball is not smooth, it is a curved. And we cannot call it is as a plane surface. This is the main difference. Now come to the second point, second concept of geometry, that is the point. First characteristic of point is it is represented by the help of a dot. This is the first characteristics. And if I say what is the definition of point, point is something that occupies some location of any object. And it is the basic unit of geometry. represented by a dot, and it is usually named by using a capital letter of English alphabet, and having no length and no breadth, that means having no dimension. The example is here, point A. This is the, suppose this is the point dot, and we are giving the name capital A. Therefore we can say this is the point A. Now the third concept of geometry is the line segment and the ray. What is line segment first? It is a collection of points, right? And it will be going endlessly in both directions. You may consult this figure. This is the figure of line. Line is a collection of points and will be going endlessly in both directions along with a straight line. This is the straight line, and here this is the symbol of a line. This is the symbol of a line over here. The arrows, there are two arrows, and these two arrows will show that the line goes on endlessly in the both direction, on the right side and the left side. Clear? And here A and B are the 2 points on the line. A and B are the 2 points lie on this line. And we may name this line AB. Clear? Or we can say BA, and we can it can be represented by this AB and the arrow sign on the both side, or BA. We can also represent this by giving a name using any any small English letter, such as here the using small letter is L. We can say this is the L line. The line segment. A line segment is a part of a line, and it will have 2 endpoints. This is the figure, P and Q, the 2 endpoints, and has a fixed length. The important characteristic of line segment is it can be easily measured because it has a fixed length, and it is also the shortest path that connects the 2 points lying on the plane. And we can name easily a line segment by their 2 endpoints, such as P and Q. Therefore we can say this is the PQ line segment, and the symbol is this one. Points P and Q are the 2 endpoints of the line segment PQ, as I mentioned earlier. This is the figure of line segment. Here P and Q are the 2 endpoints, and these 2 endpoints can easily be measured. That's why we can say only line segment, but the line cannot be measured. Only line segment can be measured because of its 2 fixed endpoints. The ray. A ray is definitely a part of the line, and it begins from one point, and this point may be known as initial point, the starting point, and it travels endlessly in another direction and is specified by another point. This one example. This is the ray, and on this we can consider it has only one end point, that is the R, and there is the another point that is endlessly going to the another direction. This is the symbol of ray, arrow. Or we can also write the ray in this way. Q is the endpoint, fixed endpoint, and here the arrow endlessly. going on another opposite direction. Clear? This is the most important characteristic of ray, that an infinite number of rays can be drawn from a given point. That means using a point we can draw an infinite number of rays. This is the example of drawing infinite number of rays. And ray here, if we consider this provided figure, that our ray QR is written as QR in this way, QR and the arrow. And it is important to note that the RQ and the Q are two different rays. Definitely this is the starting point for the QR, whereas for the RQ, this is R is the starting point. Clear? That's why QR and the QR, RQ and the QR are two different types, depending on their starting point. And a ray cannot be measured also. Now if I say what are the basic differences between line segment and the ray, we can easily answer that line, it will have no endpoints. For the case of line segment, it will have both endpoints, and for the case of ray, it will have only one endpoint on the side, whereas on the another side there will be no fixed endpoint. That means it is endlessly. For the case of line, it cannot be measured, length cannot be measured. For the case of line segment, the length can be easily measured because of its definite length, and the length of ray cannot be measured. These are the main differences between line segment and the ray. Now another important concept of geometry is angle. Angle can be easily formed by using two rays. Not only two rays, but also by the line segment. Pay your attention over here. An angle can be easily drawn not only by using the rays, but also by the line segment. Clear? This is the figure of an angle. The definition of angle is: an angle is formed by using two rays whenever these two rays meet at a common point called the vertex. That means in order to form an angle, we should have two arms in form of rays, and these two rays or arms must meet at a common or fixed point, that means to the vertex. This fixed common point will be known as the vertex. Therefore, we can say, using the two arms and the vertex, we can easily form an angle. That's why in the definition of angle, we can say an angle is formed by using two different rays, and when these two different rays meet at a common fixed point called the vertex. Clear? In another definition, we can also define the angle in this way, that an angle can also be formed by intersection of the line segment here. This is the line segment, PQ and the RQ, and the common vertex is Q. Clear? But we cannot say that an angle can be formed by using line. Clear? If we consider this figure 11.3, this is the figure of an angle. This is the way of drawing an angle. Here P and Q, PQ and RQ. These are the two arms, and Q is the common point, that is the vertex. Clear? And using these two arms and the common vertex, we can easily draw the arm. Now we have to give the name of this angle. Suppose we can say PQR is the angle or RQP is the angle. What is the sign or symbol of the angle? This one. This one is the sign or symbol of the angle. And for the figure 11.4, if we say that yes, an angle can be formed, also can be formed by intersecting the two line segments. The two line segments here are PQ and the RQ, and they have the common vertex Q. Clear? And they can also form an angle. Here the angle is either we can say PQR or RQP. Inferior of angle. If we say that, suppose if I say this is the M, O and N. M, O, N is the angle. Now these are the dots or points R, Q, P. And these points lie in the interior surface of the angle, right? That's why we can say the interior of an angle is the space within the arms of an angle. Here the arms are MO and NO. The interior of an angle is the space within the arms of an angle, and that is produced indefinitely. Here the points P, Q, R lie in the interior of the angle. This is the interior portion of the angle. The exterior part of an angle is the outer part, the space that is the space outside the arms of an angle. This is the arm, and the space outside the arms of an angle, such as point B, point A, point C. These are the points lie in the outer part of the angle, and this area, space will be known as the exterior, whereas this portion will be known as the interior. Clear? And what are the parts of the angle? Which points are M, N and the P? These are the points that are on the angle and will be treated as the part of the angle. This is very important. What is adjacent angles? We need to consider this figure. CO, AO, BO. BO is the common arm, right? And it has also the common vertex, that is the O. Now using these two things, we can easily draw two different angles, such as COB angle or angle AOB. Now these two different angles, angle COB and the angle AOB, will be known as adjacent for each other. Am I clear? Therefore, we can say the adjacent angles are the two angles, two different angles we can say also, having a common arm and a common vertex and lie on either side of the common arm. This will be known as the adjacent angle. Clear? For this case, the adjacent angles are here, angle COB and the angle AOB, and the common vertex is O. You may consult this table. This is the synopsis or brief description of each and every concept that we have discussed. And this is your practice homework. exercise 11a. Thanks for watching.